right, if you got something going on in your life, you need a little Bert Show family help, go ahead, email us at thebertshow.com. Also, today is like a freaky day. We had one earlier this morning that was kind of freaky, and right here now, her husband's starting to show his freakish side a little bit, and she's not exactly sure how to handle it. I'm not even sure she's really into it.
So, my husband and I went to a costume party last year on Halloween. I think it is the first time we've been to a costume party or even worn a costume since college. I didn't think I'd like it, but we ended up having so much fun. It was really a blast. He was dressed as an old-time barkeeper, and I was a sexy bar wench.
Do you know what that is?
No wenches?
God, how do you describe that? I mean, it's a server, like in a tavern. Like it's old-timey. It's an old-timey verbiage to describe, and they're typically very busty.
Okay. Got it. I know. I got the image.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the, it just, there are two definitions.
Well, not the one that you used.
One is a girl or young woman, and the other one is a prostitute.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a wench was used to pull
says.
something out of the.
No, that's what it says. That's
Is
not
it the
mine.
St. Pauli's beer girl? Like if you Google that,
He
a
ain't
picture
gonna-
would come up.
Yeah.
I got it.
All right. He's like, okay, too much on that.
After the party, we went home, and he seemed to really like my costume because he could hardly wait to get to the bedroom. Well, since that night, he has asked me to put that costume back on a few times. I went along with it, even though I am now starting to get a little weirded out by it. Then, it seemed to get worse because the other morning, he was on his laptop. He was on a costume site, and he started showing me different costumes and asking if I'd wear them. Apparently, he's been looking at new ones for us to buy. He's getting into his role-playing stuff. We have been married for over 8 years. Obviously, things can get a bit dull, so maybe I should get into it, but I just can't. I feel like I'm opening a can of worms. Am I being prude? Anyone else do stuff like this?
A lot of people probably do stuff just like this.
That's why the websites exist.
But it's. I think it's probably the same advice that we gave earlier this morning, where you have the boyfriend that wants to call her daddy in bed. She don't like that at all. So she's like, "Okay, you can do that, but you need to call me grandmom."
Brilliant.
But if both people are uncomfortable here, like this dude, it's 8 years in, and he's looking for something to keep it fresh with his wife. But if you're not into it, you're not into it.
You know, when you're in a marriage for a while, you do things to please the other person. Not that you're putting yourself in a position where you're compromising yourself or your beliefs or your morals, but if you're okay with it and making that other person happy, then I don't think that's a bad thing. I think there could be a compromise here. So try it one more time. And if you don't like it, you can tell him that. Be like, hey, this really isn't my thing. I'm going to try it one more time, because this is something that you're really into and you really want. And then if you don't like it, maybe this can be something that you do once a year. Like he gets this once a year and that is it.
That's going to be like Christmas morning or Christmas night for him.
Right? So or if you are adamantly opposed and you're like, no, this goes against everything and it makes me so uncomfortable, then definitely don't do it. And just let them know that.
I completely get not necessarily this not being your thing, but yeah, compromise is key. And I mean, I think she should voice to him that, hey, this is not really my thing. I don't want to get too comfortable in this space. But for you, if this is like something you really want, I think doing it a couple times a year is not going to hurt either one of them.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched? Well, you can get a lot more of The Bert Show for free on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.